UndergroundVideoNetwork.com presents the We Talk Too Much podcast.
This is where the fun begins.
Comic books, superheroes, sci-fi, gaming, and everything nerdy.
That's it. This is just too weird.
Now, here's your host of the We Talk Too Much podcast, Mike and Richard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Underground Video Network's We Talk Too Much. Who are we? Well, I'm Michael Boroff.
And I'm Richard Ketterjohn.
Rich, how's it going?
Good. Busy this week. We have a local fair going on for our county, so.
I'm sure they probably tapped you to like, hey, you want to come over and take some pictures? And
I did a lot of photographs just on Tuesday because it's the strange thing because, I work for two different newspapers. Well, The other paper's fair starts next week, so I had to do the fair tab for that. So I've literally been working for the last 3 weeks, or will be, 2 weeks on fair stuff, and then next week I'll wrap up the other fair because it's in another county next to where I live. So,
well, speaking of fairs, that was a great segue, Richard. It's almost like you knew where I was going. We here in the Ohio area absolutely adore. It's that time of the year. The Ohio Renaissance Festival is in full swing. Missed the last few, the last couple because of COVID. The last one, last year's, they opened and I was still a little leery about it. So, I held off, but I went this year. I even bought a season pass and I went opening weekend, Richard.
Oh.
And it was phenomenal. Those people down there put on, and come to find out, I went on the perfect day because I didn't go Saturday. Normally, I'm a Saturday fair goer, but especially since we had Labor Day, I was just like, I can't see why not go on Sunday. And I narrowly missed some really horrific weather because I have enough friends, between the two of us, we have enough friends that go down to the Renaissance Festival every weekend. We have those friends that go every weekend. And really, it rained pretty good Saturday. Not enough to really halt the fair. But
not
it rained
like not like the storm we had when we was down there a couple years ago.
Almost, Richard, because I went down Sunday. And had my kilt, had my shirt. I went with a mission. Every year I go down there, I buy one of their commemorative mugs. And this year's mug was beautiful. It was rose red. And I get my mug first thing in the door. And as I'm walking, Richard, barely 10 feet in the doorway, I hear bagpipe music. Remember, Richard, in the cartoons where when they would set a pie on the window and the smell would waft, and the Sylvester or something would be entranced by the smell, and his feet would lift off the ground and would carry him to the pie. That was literally me with the bagpipe music. I was passing. It was a hell of a show and so much fun. Ran into a lot of friends that I've made at the Renaissance Festival, and friends that go down there. It was almost like Gym City, Richard, except outside, and everybody was dressed medieval. But that was Sunday, and as I was leaving, Richard, I'd heard some thunder, and on my way home, got to the Dayton area, I saw some clouds behind me. Well, come to find out the next day, some friends sent me a couple TikToks and Instagrams. Not only did they get hammered hard Sunday night, they had flooding down there.
Oh, wow.
There were pictures. We're talking 5-6 inches deep of water everywhere. But in pure Renaissance Fair style, everyone, they literally rallied the troops and got everything cleaned up enough where they were still able to open. It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my weekend last weekend. I got to go opening weekend. Bad timing, though, because I'm lucky enough now at my current job. I have a group of friends that also go down to the Renaissance Festival, and a few of my friends here in town had mentioned going. I had it in my head, Richard. I had it in my head. They were going opening week. It was this weekend. And I bought a season pass, so I was like, I'm still going to go, but my wallet decided to say, nah, bro, we're going to stay. Actually, it wasn't my wallet. It was like every single auto pay, Richard, that I have. Netflix, Hulu, Adobe, all of them went, yeah, you're staying put. We're getting our money. Because it was like Thursday night. I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm going to tell my buddies at work Friday, I'm going to go. I got up Friday, looked at my bank account, and went, "Oh shit, we're not going. Oh, we're not going anywhere." So yeah, I was really bummed because a lot of people are posting pictures, and it was a fantasy weekend this weekend, and oh god, I wanted to go, but hopefully here real soon. I will be back down again, especially for Time Travelers Weekend, which I need to talk to you about later.
When's that coming up?
You jerk! I had the dates up a second ago. We'll look it up. But
okay.
So, to anyone watching or viewing, if you have never been to the Ohio Renaissance Festival, you really owe it to yourself to go down because there's a lot of misconceptions about it. But I can tell you for a fact, I've been going for 20 plus years, and every time I introduce the idea to somebody, they think the same thing. Oh, I'm not going to have fun. My mom, God rest her soul, was one of the first people. I'm like, Mom, Dad, you guys got to come down to Renaissance Festival. Mom's like, I'm not going in there. We went down one year. She was hooked from there on out. Even my ex-wife, Stacy, God love her, we're friends, said the same thing. It's like, that's not really my bag. I don't really want to go. And my mom and my sister were both like, trust us. You're going to love it. And she did. My family, friends that I brought down, never once. Even I got, it took me years to get you to come down.
You see what I found on Amazon?
I know, and I know where you're going. Yeah.
Everybody who's listening to us, I went on Amazon and I actually found a shirt that looks very similar to the main star from the Time Tunnel.
So I know your game for Time Travelers Weekend. I know it. But yeah, do yourself a favor. Just look up Ohio Renaissance Festival on all this Google, the socials, and everything. Believe me, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go down and check it out.
And other events going on, I also want to bring up in a couple of weeks is Cincinnati Comic Expo, which is one of the largest comic culture events in the area too. So you get a chance to check that out. Cincinnati, I can't remember. This is the 16th year, 17th. I got the website up. It doesn't say, but I remember we was actually, well, I don't think you went, but the very first year we had a table and everything. I remember when it was when they started this little convention at Xavier University. It was in the walk around area of the basketball. But now it's huge and down at the Duke Energy Center. It's a huge and they keep growing every year.
If you remember, Richard, you weren't able to go last year.
No,
but I brought my friend. Yep. But I was able to go, and I brought my friend Angie with us. You may recognize from our interview earlier a couple years ago, Ginger Snaps cosplay. We got to go down, and it was we were still wearing masks, but it was still so much fun. It was. I'm telling you, Richard, September snuck up on me like a mother bitch. I was like, okay, Renaissance Festival. Oh, Cincinnati. Oh.
And it's a good thing because way it fell a little different than it did because next weekend is one of those hometown festivals I have to cover because there's a parade and event. So that's like next weekend. That was supposed to be the same time last year as that. So I didn't even do both last year. So hopefully I get to do both this year. So
yeah, works out for me because you next weekend is one of the rare weekends where life gets in the way, I'm actually scheduled for Saturday overtime, which I'm not going to scoff at. Especially during Renaissance Fair weekend, you know, I did one of the lessons I learned, Richard, because I've been going for 20 some years, is we always go on Saturday because, you know, it just always seems like if you go Sunday, I'm not saying you're doing anything bad with it, but for me personally, it's like you go Sunday, you come home just exhausted. I've always worked first shift, Richard. I work second shift now. I can go Sunday and not have to worry about getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I have a really strong feeling I'm going to end up back down there next Sunday.
Oh wow!
Oh, I'm all in this year. I missed the last couple. I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm back up to getting up at 5 in the morning or staying up all night on morning papers. So I got done this morning about 5, or be a little after 4, going on 5.
And you know what it's like, Richard. Today was one of those days where, like I mentioned earlier with the Renaissance Festival, my wallet said we're staying home today, but it was actually worked out pretty good because of everything that dropped from the Disney show, or the what was
D23. D23.
D23, yeah.
Because it's in the Hall 23 or something is why they call it D23.
The reason I had a problem remembering that, Richard, is because my mind always goes to D20, which we had friends years ago. There was a magazine called the D20 magazine, and we had friends that were a part of it. So
Plus, that's a good place to stop in Dayton. It's one of those gaming bar, whatever, you know. I've been there a couple times for a couple events, so it's been pretty cool here in the Dayton area.
It was just one after another, man, and it was one of those things, Richard, where it was like, I'm catching up. I'm seeing the notifications on my phone, and I'm starting to watch them. I'm like, dude, you have a huge ass TV screen right there. Why are we watching all this awesomeness on this? So I went straight and I started looking stuff up, and good Lord, man, where do we even start? I'm just gonna jump right into Secret Invasion, Richard.
Oh yeah,
the preview for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that looked wild.
That looked. I gotta admit, Richard, I don't know why I had it in my head that it was going to be a movie, but I'm actually even more excited about it now, knowing it's going to be a limited series run, that they're going to be able to draw it.
It just depends on. I hope it's more than 30 minutes each week, because you know.
Oh God, me too.
Yeah, I hope it'll be more like WandaVision, or more like Captain America, or the Falcon Winter Soldier.
I think so, Richard, because I was thinking about this earlier too, because we'll talk about She-Hulk later. I think the reason why some of the episodes of She-Hulk are so short is because they're gearing that specifically towards like a sitcom.
Yeah. It is dropping more for the people watches it on here, you know.
Yeah, but Secret Invasion is going to be
a series,
a grander setup.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll go back to seeing 40-minute plus episodes.
But what I love that when he's about was talking to the other agent there, you know, when the trailer. Yeah.
And for those that are just listening and not watching, I don't know if it was subliminal, Richard, but when you started talking about Nick Fury, you started to scratch your eye, and I was just, I caught that.
Ashley's my sinuses, but I've been in at the fair, you know.
Yeah. No, the conversation with Maria Hill, and
yeah, that's what I was just trying to go with. It's like, so how is this going to set within? Because I know I just heard that they did some stuff with the Marvels. They dropped some sneak peek of that and stuff right before we went online here, you know. So
yeah,
you know how, like in Captain Marvel, we got to see like some of Nick Fury's origin stuff. Then we got to see he's out in space, right? You know, so is he really in space, or where's he? How does this all put together? I wonder.
Wondering the same thing, because the last that we'd seen, it was Talos, who was impersonating. Yeah, which kudos to me for remembering that name. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so proud of myself for remembering that name. I think it's because in this I won't remember, but the actor who played Talos, who was also in Rogue One, he's one of those ones I really like. And he's got that what it is, Richard, since I love voiceover actors, he's got one of those voices that really registers in my brain.
True.
But I'm really curious, Richard, because the last we'd seen of him, the Marvel Universe, I lose myself sometimes. The Marvel Universe was friendly with the Skrulls. But if you know your Marvel history and the tone that we were getting from the preview.
Just don't drink the cow milk. Oh,
Jesus. Good pull. Good pull. For those of you who don't know, we're not going to explain it. Just Google Skrull cow milk. It'll literally. Yeah. Pull.
Sorry, I had to bring up old Fantastic Four legends.
But yeah, it really makes you wonder where they're headed with it, which is the hallmark of a great trailer.
Yeah. And the way I look at it is, have we been duped for some of the stuff that's been going on in the Marvel Universe? You know, like in the Secret Invasion comic, you know?
I'm really wondering how far down the rabbit hole they're going to go with this.
And I was just thinking, you know, they released the cast of Thunderbolts. And I know we're moving on fast, but I think, will that relate to Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
You know, because like in the comic, we got to see some characters return because of Secret Invasion. So is a few characters that we might have seen pass on actually was Skrulls?
That would be hard, because I do remember from Secret Invasion, remember when they were killed, they reverted back.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Even in the movie, because remember when they found the Skrull body.
Yeah, that's true. But still, you know, that would be wild if they could actually pick up a little bit of that comic book mythology and bring, you know, slide things around or something, you know.
No, the one thing I was disappointed in, Richard, is I was watching something, and it was pretty much officially announced that, and I mean, we knew it all along, that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not a part of the MCU.
Right.
Branch, it's a variant. Goddamn Phil Coulson, then.
Yeah.
Where's my goddamn Phil Coulson?
Right.
Because
it's still who knows. You know, maybe we'll get a little bit of that. You know, who knows? But
it was the fans that got him back to begin with. It was the fans that's the reason why there was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to begin with, because of the whole, remember this, Richard? Save Coulson?
Right.
That it was the fans that brought that whole thing about. So,
and if we can get Loki back left and right, why can't we get Coulson back left and right? You know.
I mean, it's never been established that, never really established in the official MCU since they decided to break off canon that he did return. So I don't know, but anyway, seeing Maria Hill and Nick Fury together and talking about the Marvels just made me really nostalgic for Phil Coulson. It's just my rant.
And so, like I said earlier, with that Thunderbolt, what would you think of the casting and the call of who's going to be in Thunderbolts?
I'm really excited, and there was a couple that I was really surprised about, especially Bucky.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that, and again, speculation, we just saw a cast picture, that he might be there more as a watchdog.
Could be.
Just to keep his eye on, especially U.S. agent.
Yeah, that could be, but also he really doesn't feel like he fits in with the rest of the MCU.
This is true. That is very true.
You know, so maybe he thinks this is the place where he needs to be to do the most good, you know.
He could still be on that the redemption arc.
Right. Because you got Ghost, who's on her redemption, um, oh, the dad from the Widows, the Russian guy with the beard. That was surprised to see that, and that's not Hercules. That's Red Star.
Yeah, which that was the first thing I thought too. Is especially at the end of Thor, I was like, okay, that's their version. Their Thunderbolts was always kind of like their way of supplanting the Avengers. We've got our Hawkeye. We've got our. That was the one that kind of. Well, no, I'm ranting. No, not Kate. We're still going Young Avengers with Kate.
Yeah. Well, they got Taskmaster, so
Yeah.
And it's the MCU Taskmaster, so it's a little different,
Now that I think about it, Richard, it really does make sense. The more I think about it, for Bucky, is because the Thunderbolts were always the villains, for lack of a better word.
Right.
And I mean, for better or worse, redemption arc or not, the Winter Soldier did do some pretty things,
Yeah,
so
he killed Tony Stark's dad. I mean, geez.
So yeah, it really falls in line with what we know about the Thunderbolts from the comic books.
Yeah. I think this is more like a cleanup type crew, probably, or something. Like they were putting it together to replace the Avengers, because the Avengers are technically not existence, even though we're going to get a couple Avengers movie in Kang. So who knows what that's going to happen? But it makes sense that they would put something like this together.
And going back, Richard, going back to the Secret Invasion preview, what the hell's going on with Rhodey?
Oh yeah.
It's like, how do you trust your security staff? Well, what's going on with Rhodey that warrants him having a security staff?
Yeah, well, that moves into probably the Armor War stuff. It's probably setting that up, because it's going to spin off, because they had an announcement when that was supposed to be out. I don't see.
I want to say 2024 is that one.
Yeah, I know they announced it.
There
it is.
Armor Wars fell in line with the same announcement as like Fantastic Four and a couple others.
Oh, there's no dates with it. It's just the new logo.
So yeah, I would still bank 2024.
Yeah, I know next year's going to be packed. But we got this year to look forward, especially around Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Werewolf by Night.
Dude, hey, bring it, man, because especially after Moon Knight and how awesome that was. Bring me all of your obscure mystical characters, man. Bring it.
Yeah, I think, with that inclusion, because in the trailer, it looked like they even had Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel's got their version of Frankenstein, so maybe we will see a bunch of the Night Warrior guys. What's it they called? Night
Stalkers.
Stalkers, yeah. They could go that way, and Moon Knight, and everything. So,
and dude, I'm telling, I think Werewolf by Night. I mean, I know werewolf, but I still think that would be a great end or tag at the end of the credits, after credit scene. Blade.
Oh yeah. We have to get. I mean, I know it's in production and they're going to have it ready for release. I'm surprised they didn't really show much, but maybe they're kind of holding that off, Yeah. Because they probably want to have that as its standalone entity, So.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? Maybe they'll tie in with Doctor Strange 3 and the Third Eye,
Yeah. I was really excited. Again, it was just the logo, but Fantastic Four. I mean, we have a director attached to it now.
Yeah. It looks interesting,
It's going to be very interesting to see who they cast, because we all want to believe it's going to be John Straczynski, but nothing is set in stone yet.
Right. Of course, that's slated for November the 8th of 2024. So,
yeah. You know what, Richard? I read something the other day that actually, for as much as I loved seeing Straczynski in the role of Mr. Fantastic, given his, no pun intended, his fate in the movie, you know who else you know who I think I would have rather seen take that role, Richard? The guy from the Fantastic Four movies.
oh yeah,
Ian Gruff or something like that.
yeah. I can't remember his name. Yeah,
Just because of the of his final fate, it would have been like Marvel's way of saying, yeah, that's dead. That's gone now. You know.
and we got. I don't know. It's just really cool how we can still go in different directions. And of course, we didn't see any from Loki. I mean,
I was surprised by that.
are they still? It does go on tomorrow still, right? It's a 2-day event now, right?
Very true. As of us doing this, I believe there's still one more day left of announcements.
Yeah, I thought so. So maybe we'll see some more stuff tomorrow. But
I mean, they'd be smart to, because I mean, for as much as they dropped today, I mean, we've just scraped the surface of the Marvel stuff. We haven't even gone into the Star Wars stuff yet.
And the other stuff that's on beyond even the Star Wars.
I know. Look, I'm an old geek, and look, Marvel, super excited about. All the stuff about Star Wars, super excited about. With Willow, bro, I was giddy, Richard. I was literally giddy is the only word. It was the first time in my life, Richard, I have been both fine and dandy. That one's for you, Mitch. But seeing that finally, because they announced that like at the beginning of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It just it's like, hey, Willow's coming, and like years later.
Well, I think they had some production problems and stuff
COVID,
like that that they took a little longer. They want to make sure they had it right.
Yeah. Oh my God, Richard. I did, man. I reverted, and it really doesn't take much. Reverted back to my 8-year-old self when I saw Warwick Davis there. Oh man.
I like how they take in consideration the movie, which is streaming on Disney Plus. So
yes.
Before the start, make sure any younger generation watch it before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily, Richard, because I rewatched it not too long ago, it holds up. Oh, bless. Because you and I both know, Richard, there are movies that we have so fondly stashed away in our heart that when we go back and rewatch them, it's kind of like, that didn't hold up very well. Willow holds up, man. And it's still... Oh man, phenomenal.
Well, I don't want to say, but it's like a fairy tale. It holds its ground,
Yes.
Because it's not set in any specific world. It's its own.
Yep.
Like Lord of the Rings. I don't really want to compare it to Lord of the Rings because it's different but the same. It's similar.
Right, within its own fantasy universe.
Yeah, and it uses the Well, I know I was playing D&D at that time when it was out. So, it influenced some campaigns and stuff like that. So,
Oh, I remember, Richard, after watching that movie, I think that might have actually been the movie that got me, when I was younger, my obsession with swords. And man, I had to learn how Bad Mardigan did the behind the back. And you are great. Like, oh, God, I love that movie. And all the I don't want to say cameos because they deserve much more than that. But seeing I just had his name. It was one of the brownies. Kevin Pollak. Seeing Kevin Pollak return as one of the brownies. My good friend.
Yeah,
And
that's going to be interesting to see what they do with this.
it's such a logical story progression too, because we see Laura Danning as an adult. Because he makes the comment, he goes, "Ah, you remind me so much of your mother." And I was like, "Oh, my heart." Oh man, I was ridiculously excited to see the preview for Willow. Like Warwick Davis, man, killing it. Oh man, huge fan. I really am huge fan. And that was one of the great things about Willow and the new Willow is getting to see Warwick Davis be Warwick Davis. No, because if you're unfamiliar with Warwick Davis and you IMDb him, yeah, I made it a verb. You're going to be shocked to see. But most of his stuff is in costume. Um, a lot of times, Richard, he's in costume and they don't even use his voice. Perfect example is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie. He was Marvin. He was in the suit for Marvin, the paranoid android, but it was Alan Rickman who did the voice for him. So the guy was there. He showed up to work every single day, but they didn't even, use his voice. But to see him be him, absolutely, I absolutely cannot wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming quick too, right?
I want to say November.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to find it here. Just got a message from popped up about Cincinnati Comic Expo. Richard Dreyfuss is going to be there Friday also now.
Oh, shut up, really?
Yeah, so I guess he's going to be there whole weekend.
Again, another reason why the folks listening and watching need to look up the Cincinnati Comic Expo. Man, they're dropping people. I mean, not dropping. They are announcing people left and right. I mean, the big one for go ahead. Brandon Routh, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've had a couple changes because like Christina Ricci couldn't make it because of scheduling, and Willa Day, she couldn't make it either because of scheduling with conflict with, that's what happens with actors. They have it scheduled and all of a sudden they get a movie part.
Hey, guess what, people? They're rich and they're celebrities, but they got to work too.
Yeah.
Complaining that I can't do something next week because I have to work overtime. Well, guess what? They do the same. They have the same thing.
Yeah. And then staying off a little bit of Marvel or Disney or Marvel or Lucas's National Treasure series.
Oh, no kid! Oh, that one came out of yeah.
I love the first two National Treasures.
Yeah. We're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
No, you're going to ruin it, but I got to see. You got to look at the invisible ink. Was on the.
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Let me grab these Ben Franklin glasses.
Oh. I love that was in the trailer. It's sitting there. Yeah. Mike's describing the glasses from the one where they had to use to be able to see the angles or something.
No, they were literally like three. It was like Ben Franklin's bifocals, but they had those. They looked like the jeweler attachments.
Right.
But all the lenses made them look like 3D glasses. Like, oh,
yeah.
I can see the hidden message on the Declaration of Independence. It says Kilroy was here,
Well, let's get over to the rest of the Lucas stuff, the actual Star Wars. We got Star Wars coming out left and right.
Yeah. One of the ones I'm most excited about was Bad Batch Season 2. About damn time. Yeah. Bad Batch Season 2. Huge fan of the first season. Absolutely adored it. I have been eagerly awaiting the official announcement for Season 2, and we got it, and it looks phenomenal.
And on that note, animation also is from the same creators as the Tales of the Jedi.
That looks so good. And that one, I'd heard inklings of it, but the actual format of it it's going to be a set of not so much a continuous series, but it's going to be tales.
Yeah, it's gonna be like what if? I shouldn't really describe it as what if, but like individual stories, but still pertains to the main.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. These aren't non-canon. This is all canon Star Wars stuff.
We're going to see the backstory with Count Dooku.
Right.
But the one I'm most excited about is Osaka. I know it. I just can't. Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, that is the story. I'm really.
Yeah, they're going to have like 6 individual episodes, and these roll out October the 26th. So Disney Plus is going to have to deal with all this influx of people watching.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, all right, we're in the dry spell now. People are debating on leaving.
Dry spell? We got She-Hulk going on.
But yes, which we will get. We
got one last Star Wars announcement that Mike has to talk about because he's literally wearing the shirt. And people,
this was a gift to me from my incredibly awesome niece Emily. Not quite the Uncle Lorian, but the Mandalorian. And dude, dude, it looked amazing. There were parts to even just a small preview, Richard, that I had to rewind. I loved that. Bo-Katan, her line to Grogu. It really did get me in a heartstring when she says, "Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?" I'm like, she just say what I think. She said, "Did you think your dad?" She called him his dad. Oh, that was such a cool cutaway too. She says, "Do you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?" And then they showed that entire group.
You're right.
I'm telling you right now, every Star Wars cosplayer I know, I can hear that pause button being slammed. Like, ooh, new costume. Oh, yeah. But we got to see I know her name in real life. The mechanic lady, the babysitter.
Oh, yeah.
She showed back up with an R5 unit. Yeah, I remember R5, but I can't remember her name. I have her Lego, for God's sake. But we saw her. I'm excited for this story arc, Richard. All Mandalore.
Yeah. I loved it when they was like being dropped out.
Oh, that was so dope. Oh, it was so dope.
Like they were like the parachute teams going. Yeah, because the special effects looked like crazy because they were like free falling. The next thing you see, the packs kick in and they fly off. I mean, ever since introduction of Boba Fett, I just wanted to see the whole Mandalorian army. Yeah. Because I know, like for Empire Strikes Back, that's sort of what Lucas wanted to go with was the Mandalorian army to fight. Yeah. And it was like. I know that his whole idea was how he created all that backstory and stuff, and I just to see this in live will just be crazy,
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I honestly, Richard, I think aside from Willow, naturally the Mandalorian season 3 is what I'm going to be most excited for. And it's like my heart is already like not prepared for the end of season 3.
Right.
Like, knows they're going to break us. They are going to break us again. But yeah, little Grogu. It was almost like, you know what? Maybe they did it on purpose, Richard. Because here a few weeks ago. Disney released the mini shorts of Baby Groot.
Oh yeah,
can't tell me they didn't time purposely for the release of the Baby Groot Lego set. They did that on purpose. I know because I watched it as I built my Lego Baby Groot. But it was almost like Disney going, all right, now's our chance to remind people of the adorableness of Baby Groot. Get him out there. Wet everybody's whistle for the upcoming, Guardians still down the road. It's time to shine again. And then here comes Baby Yoda. And Baby Yoda's like, yeah. Move aside, Twig Boy. I'm the adorable one. Oh, but man, was there anything else? Again, remember, this is Saturday night, we've still got shit, dude. We've turned our back on the screen for like 20 minutes. God only knows how much stuff has been released, since we turned our back.
But no, we got to move over on to Disney Plus's She-Hulk, dude. I mean, we talked about the first episode when it dropped, and we haven't talked about it since. So it's been going crazy.
Chef's kiss. Look, I'm done. This is one of the ones that had made me. God love the creators of She-Hulk for getting on top of it. They knew when they wrote the show, because keep in mind the scripts were probably written more than a year ago. They knew the negativity that was going to be dredged out while the show was going on, and they addressed it pretty much in real time. In the show, it was when Jennifer was looking at like all the Twitter stuff about She-Hulk, and it was just like, oh well, of course we get another Hulk and it has to be a girl. No. They were right on top of it, man. They got the precogs out, and they knew what was coming, and they were prepared for it. But man, I'm telling you, I'm loving that show.
Yeah, it's fun and it's adventurous. And have you seen the trailer for next week?
Yep.
Oh my God, it's just don't know where to go. I mean, it just is going every which way. But I did like how we know basically what time frame this takes place. At least because it's very directly ties into other Marvels, so we know exactly where things are.
Yeah. And well, we oh man, that preview. No, especially if I'm not familiar with source material or anything like that, I'll be the first to admit it. But I can actually say that I have been a huge fan of the She-Hulk comic books for a very long time, especially when she does. They have her solo books. This show is in line with those books. Very much. Fourth wall breaking, always has. The tongue-in-cheek humor, not taking itself seriously, always been that way. Very, very on par, very in line with the source material.
Yeah, it's She-Hulk. Definitely is She-Hulk.
Yeah. Things about it that I really. First of all, you gotta give props. I almost made a meme, almost made a joke, but I didn't think enough people would get it. Was when they introduced her dad. I was going to take a screen cap of that scene. It's like, he looks really familiar, but after some thought, he ended up being a perfect stranger. Don't worry. That sound of silence you're hearing right now would have been the exact response, too. That's why I thought better of it. But I love her dad at show. Because, look, he knows his daughter is a She-Hulk. But what's the first thing he still does? He comes over to the house. I've got security cameras. I've got an alarm. I've got a shovel. What's the shovel for? To dig holes for what? Don't ask. I was like, I love God, man. I love that. That was good. That was a good dad.
Yeah, I just love the different direct. And then the John Donnie Blaze.
Which, yeah, I'm betting it was a red herring, Richard,
Yeah.
because everybody they're going to. I think they're embracing the whole Mephisto theory thing from like Loki and WandaVision, where it was the fans that were like, "Oh, I'm seeing this, so it must mean this, and I'm seeing this, so it must mean this." I really think Donnie Blaze was an in-your-face red herring. We know people are going to look into it, but it's not what you think it is.
I love how he made the and Wong's new girlfriend.
I had to Madison.
Yeah, Matt is and
Which
spelled
is why and not where you think. I'm sorry. That is a character that I should hate. I love her. I love her so much, and I love her and Wong together. I make no apologies for it. Wongers. I was like, I need more Madison and Wong, and forgive me if I haven't come up with a Matagong or Wasson or the matched up name. But and here's the thing too, it doesn't even have to be romantic. I just like the two of them they're just adorable. Like, Wongers, can we get some froyo? No. We can talk about Sopranos. All right, let's go. I'm like, God damn it. Come on. I love the fact that we went from when we met Wong, didn't even know who Beyonce was, to being BFFs with like the ultimate influencer. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's character growth, buddy.
I wonder if Madison King character will become something in the universe or just this like reoccurring with Wong type thing, you know?
Oh, I'm telling you, it's like a year or two from now when we see Doctor Strange 3, if she doesn't even just make like a walk by, I'm going to be furious. I'm going to.
Please.
Stevie! Like, oh. I do. I adore the two of them together. Beyond there's no rational explanation for it, Richard. None. I just adore. I adore that ship so much.
What I'm liking is the whole copyright for the She-Hulk with Titania. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know that it just looks crazy next week. You know.
Yeah, but here's the other real quick. The other thing I loved about Madison,
Okay.
which is why I think her and Wong are going to work so well together, is think about what she said she's seen and has taken it in stride. Like when she came out of that one portal, she was holding a heart. A heart. Like it was nothing. Like met this demon. I think his name was Greg.
I gave him 3 drops of my blood so I could.
Oh yeah, and I'm not supposed to say anything, or my family burning all in stride. So it makes sense that for as vacuous as she appears, and I say appears because we've only seen her drunk, dude. Let's be honest. We've only seen her. Everything we've seen, we've just seen her adorably drunk. She's taking it in stride. So whereas anybody else coming over to Karmertosh to hang out, Sim Salabim, shows up like tentacles and everything, anybody else freak out, and Madison's just like, ew, I don't like him. Hanging it in stride, bro. Yeah. and I liked the way that Jennifer comments on Wong. I loved, again, it's so She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall. It's like, and we got Wong. He's like Twitter armor. Like, yeah. You. And I love, man. I'm telling you, Richard. I still firmly believe that Wong is going to be the Fury for this. I want to see Wong be the Nick Fury for this next phase. I want him everywhere. I'm not going to make a Wong joke because I was thinking about give me all the Wong. No. Between me and you, Richard, do you know how hard it was for me not to make this joke when when they showed Madison and Wong sitting on the couch? If you go back and you watch that final part where she's sitting on the couch, Madison is eyeballing him. She is eyeballing him. And the first thing that popped in my head, and I apologize, it's not dirty, it's just bad. She was looking for love in all the wrong places.
Oh God. You need to make that. You need to make that.
Oh man. God, I was so proud and ashamed of myself at the same time. Like that was the ultimate Marvel dad joke. And I have got to get that on a t-shirt somewhere. But going back to Jen, who, happened to be in the episode also. I love the way they're playing She-Hulk and Jen because it was very familiar to the comic book too, because in the comic books, when they showed flashbacks of like Jen when she was in college, she was very much a quiet, nerdy, unpopular person.
Yeah.
And she attains, celebrity in the life she's always wanted to live through She-Hulk, and they're showing that in the show. Especially when she makes it's not Tinder, but the dating profile. She's like, I'm not proud of this, but I'm doing it,
Yeah, like I said, I just want to see Wyatt Wingfoot show up. I'm sorry, that's just the one Marvel thing I would love to see pop into that, especially with, we're getting a Fantastic Four movie and stuff, so,
But no, I love the way they're playing it. It's tongue in cheek. It's funny for the sake of being. It's a comedy, right. And she acknowledges that this is not going to be a guest star of the week. Although we've had this person. Shut up. Oh, but I caught something, Richard.
Uh-oh.
I think I caught a blooper. And she was on the couch with the big hunky pediatrician guy. If you'll notice, you go back and you watch it again. They show her from the back, right? She turns to her side like she's breaking the fourth wall.
Right.
She wasn't looking in the fourth wall. I think that, again, it's just because I overanalyze everything, but I really think that was a goof. I think that was a goof. That should have been shot with her looking into the camera.
Maybe when they actually shot it, that angle, that camera didn't work right or something. Maybe it was balance was wrong or something. Technical problems happens as we know.
See,
I know. No, we've never gone out in the field and shot and got no footage.
And that has never happened before, Richard. We are consummate professionals. Hey.
Or your editor forgets to post an episode. We have a third episode from Pickwick Comic Con that I've never posted. I thought I posted.
I wanted to say, I was going to ask, but
I did the archiving today, because our video archive is totally updated, and the interview with the cosplay. Yeah.
Damsel in Distress.
Yeah, that'll be up later this week. So I started working on it and I never finished it. Oops.
Hey, stuff gets in the way.
I thought I actually posted it, but when I was going through it, I go, we shot 3 episodes. Where's the third
Where's
episode?
the third? But another thing I really appreciated about the show, Richard, was small details. Like at the beginning, when Jin's getting ready for work, when she's talking to the camera, if you notice, the suit she's wearing is very much oversized for Jin.
Yeah.
She's already getting into their work. And do yourself a favor. I don't know if you have, Richard, but if you go back and you rewatch it, when she's going through her phone of her to-do list, man, pause that and slow that down. There are some fantastic little Easter eggs in that. About Emil Blonsky, following up with his soulmates. The one that tickled me so much, Richard, was that she actually scheduled 2 hours to update her to-do list. She put in her to-do list 2 hours to update her to-do list. She even had down to the minute, Richard, the bathroom break with her and her friend. It was like 11:57. Like she had it down to the minute. Just those small little details.
That's crazy.
But I did like we mentioned, Richard, at the end of the episode, leading up to the preview for the next episode, when she got served, and she's like, I'm an attorney. I know when I'm being served a summons. He's like, all right, here you go.
Huh.
And it's such a weird twist, Richard, because in the comic books, Titania is like her like her Lex Luthor. And see it playing out as more of like, she's my legal bad guy and not just my fist swinging bad guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Which I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm sure there's going to be a throwdown, but. Oh, let's talk about the preview for next week, Richard. Let's talk about the big thing, man. I dare you not to talk about the big thing. Oh, man. Matt Murdock in the classic yellow and red suit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, is that has to do with the trademark stuff?
I'm betting. I'm betting because, it'll probably work out to the thing where, like she can't represent, or I mean, she could, but they're not going to let her. She can't represent herself.
Right.
So let's get the guy who represented Spider-Man. Which I wonder how that works, Richard, since everybody. Ooh. See where I'm going with this, Richard?
Right.
When we saw Matt Murdock taking on the case for Peter Parker, that was before
Right.
everybody forgot. Ooh, I can't wait to see how that plays out. I just thought about that. No, I bet you that's how it's going to segue over to She-Hulk.
Probably. It probably won't even. Well, that gets all messy. Remember, Wong.
Yeah.
But
very excited for next week's episode, especially for Daredevil and not just Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
right. Oh yeah, there's so much out, and I know I don't know if you followed it any, but the other day, I know we're changing the subject a little bit, but did you know it's the Star Trek Day? Did you go see all that stuff? Oh my God, I just can't believe all this stuff in the Star Trek universe.
Dude, see a lot of the original Next Generation cast returning.
Yeah, for season 3 of Picard,
Dude, that looks so good.
Yeah, and just all the different directions they're taking Star Trek now, and it was something, to see. And I learned there was a lot because I was watching a little bit of the red carpet and stuff, and to see the one that plays Janeway talk about how her character influenced and stuff. I just enjoyed watching some of that, and it was just neat because I had Paramount Plus up and they were streaming the whole event live. So
Yeah.
yeah, I took a break from the newspaper and went home and sat and watched a little bit of that.
There was one thing, Richard, about the D23 conference or show that has a lot of not concern, but with the addition of the Orville to Disney Plus,
Right.
a lot of the diehard, and I really am, Richard, I'm fully, dude, whatever word they come up with for Orville, like Trekkie or Orwellian, or no, that's weird. No. I am fully on board with that show. I love that show 100%. Not a peep. No glimpse of a hope of a season 4. So, fingers crossed, because it's doing very well. It's doing very well on Disney Plus.
Well, I think Disney might just try to keep it around because, it's their Star Trek. They could, maybe they would help get more episodes or something being on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count not getting, more episodes. I really would not think that this could be the last, but
yeah.
Or even animated. Who knows? They could go animated.
Yeah. No, because I think I say no because they made such a big deal of the first season drawing the line between Seth MacFarlane drawing the line between that and Family Guy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Hey, this isn't, if you're expecting Family Guy in space, that is not what this is going to be. So
yeah, well, Disney could go a lot of different directions, with all the Fox properties. I mean, just look, Aliens is popping up in Marvel Comics now,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just count nothing out anymore.
Yeah.
If Disney's making a little bit of that green stuff,
Yeah.
I think that's all that matters anymore. I mean, that's why Mickey doesn't become in public domain,
Oh God, no! I'm not going to sidetrack because you said you opened the can of worms, man. Something else I'm looking forward to, Richard. Something has come into public domain. Winnie the Pooh,
right?
The horror. Oh my God, dude! Have you seen the previews for that?
Yeah,
that looks nuts. I am so on board for it. So on board. But I digress. That's in a completely another episode.
Yeah, Halloween will be coming up. It's right around the corner.
Yeah. Hey, it's not just Marvel that's gotten some attention here lately. One of my all-time favorite shows, and one of the things that's one of the only reasons why to watch the CW anymore. We got the season premiere and second episode of the third season of Stargirl.
Right.
And the first 2 episodes right out of the gate are on par quality-wise. Storytelling, special effects, cast, as the first 2 seasons. That show has no right to be that good for being on CW anymore.
Yeah, and at least it almost solidifies that it's not part of the Arrowverse.
Right.
Right,
exactly. Which is, it's like, I thought about this last night when I was watching the second episode. It really made me miss the early Arrowverse with early Barry and early Oliver, because she would have made such a great foil with the two of them. She would have played very well into that unit.
Yeah, but I just think that now that they're actually not even going to try to merge it or anything, it stays its own. It stays there and can tell coherent stories within their universe now.
Yes. Which reminds me, Richard. I hope I didn't delete it. Side note. Speaking of, we talked more about Stargirl, but Oh, I can't believe I forgot I wanted to share this with you, Richard. It was in an episode this last season of Superman and Lois. It was a one line from Sam Lane that pretty much solidified that even John Diggle, and I still think they've done it. That universe, Superman and Lois, is not part of the CW universe.
Correct. Yeah, it is not.
Sam Lane flat out says that like he is the only one we have in regards to Superman.
Yeah.
He is the only one we have.
Right.
And
they're talking about bringing in a whole different Supergirl.
Yeah.
And what about the Sun getting replaced?
Yes. I've been following that very closely, and from what I can tell, is the actor that played Jordan,
Right.
the non superpowered son, has stepped away from the role. So far, there's no negative reason why. It was one of the official announcements was just he stepped away for health reasons, but it was best for him to step away from the show. Right. It wasn't that there was like, oh, well, I'm not getting enough money, or I'm not getting enough screen time, or oh, it's a no, none of that. It was just a personal decision on the actor's part to step away, and I think the way they're doing it is going to be fine. They're going to pull a Bewitched.
Yeah.
Just replace the actor, sight unseen, no,
Yeah.
not a tongue-in-cheek show where they'll make, a joke about, like, he doesn't even look like, No. They're just carrying on, which is, I think, probably for the best. Because they probably already have the next season's storylines done in, on paper.
Well, they just started shooting, right? That's why all this is going down, right? Or they're just getting ready to, or something like that. But like I said, Stargirl, it's its own universe. It's great, and it's just going to keep telling good stories. So let's just keep this going,
Yes. And I'm one of the things I'm really excited about is the return of Joe McHale's character, Sylvester Pemberton, as the original Starman. Oh, man, I really don't want to spoil anything. He literally returned from the dead. The cosmic staff brought him back.
Right.
And we're seeing survivor's guilt. Why me and not... Oh, such great storytelling. It wasn't like too heavy-handed. Very well done. He legitimately wants to pass the proverbial torch to Courtney. It's very interesting to see the two of them especially when she was so sure that he was her dad.
Right.
Sorry, no. But he's filling in as like I don't want to say mentor because that's still Pat.
Okay.
But mentor in that, I know how to use the staff. And, he got to show her in this last episode.
Yeah.
Damn cool trick she, didn't know how to do herself. That was great.
I still like the cabinet he made.
Yeah. I'm sorry. He put it next to his bed in the basement. Like, but I like, it's almost, you know what? The two of them in that staff is a better love triangle than Thor could pull off between Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. That was forced. This is natural. But I did really like how when Sylvester kind of lost his temper, the staff went right to Courtney. On its own, it went right to Courtney. I love that. And I'm loving the dynamic between him and Pat. Like, I know it's got to happen soon. I wanted it so bad in this last season. It was like I felt for Pat. I just need Pat to just go, God damn it, I'm not your sidekick anymore. He's done it. I think they're building up to it. because I think that he's so used to being that role that he himself has forgotten he's his own man now. Great story. I really like that show so much. I really do. That's right now, honestly, between me and you, Richard, just us girls, that's the CW saving grace, right? Superman and Lois. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it just because it's not on. Those two shows are their saving grace.
Yeah, well, that's not going to last long because
No,
I don't
not
think
now.
CW is going in this direction anymore. Of course, they just got bought, so and who knows what's going to happen to HBO Max? I don't know where they're going to wind up. It's scary in the Warner Brother Discovery Plus universe.
HBO Max is the one I'm legitimately because, like, I just seen a thing here. It might have been today, Richard, when I was cruising YouTube. A lot of the upcoming shows scheduled on HBO Max, like we're going to get the season 2 of Our Flag Means Death, which was a fantastic show. They hyped up the next season of Titans.
Right.
They hyped up the next season of Doom Patrol. There's a few new shows that look very good, but the one I was most excited for was the small snippet they showed of the live action The Last of Us
Oh,
with Pedro Pascal
yeah.
from the video game. The Last. Oh man, that looks so good.
But I think so much stuff is in danger of not being renewed. I just think HBO Max Discovery is just going to start like phasing things down, because they don't want to spend the money anymore. So, which they owe a lot of money. So, in the long run, maybe that's what they have to do. Maybe they'll have to sell the DC properties off.
Hey, I'm more than happy to have all of the DC properties under the HBO Max blanket.
Yeah, but that's not what the new people want to do.
I know.
But it's one of them things. And we keep hearing...
Why only get $20 a month from these people when we can make another faction and get another 20? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just everything's just crazy right now.
You called it a while back ago, Richard. It's a be careful what you wish for scenario.
Yeah.
It was like somebody found the genie's lamp, rubbed it, and literally asked for, I wish I could just pay for the shows I want to watch. And then, if you know your gin storytelling, there's always a catch. And the genie went.
Yep, the monkey paw.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did a solid episode tonight, dude.
Yeah. Again, include you get a chance to, anybody watching and listening, look up the Ohio Renaissance Festival. We strongly recommend going. Find out when the Time Travelers Weekend is. If you're a Doctor Who fan or a Time Tunnel fan, that's going to be the best weekend for you. We've got Cincinnati Comic Expo coming up in the next couple weeks. Their lineup is going to be incredible. Yeah, and so much good content coming out. We're going to be here as long as work or It seems it still tickles me, Richard, that a few of the times aside from like when I've had to work, it's because like you're a reporter that we can't do an episode on superheroes. Like this is his secret identity. He's got to go do the Daily Planet work. So. Speaking of here, Richard, can you kindly tell all the watchers and or listeners where they can find all of this goodness?
The best place is just head over to UVN.plus. This is part of our new rebranding. We're now being considered UVN Plus, which hopefully we will be kicking off a special event later on at the Pickwick Comic Con. We got more information coming later once we get things worked out, but that's technically will be our 20th anniversary kickoff. But go over to UVN.plus where you'll find our video archive of over 800 and some episodes from our different shows that we've done over the years. So just head over to UVN.plus. And as of today, it's all updated but this episode.
So, on behalf of myself, Michael Borf, and my good friend Richard Catterjohn, we want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. We hope everybody's staying safe and healthy, and we hope to see you at a comic book convention or the Renaissance Festival real soon. Richard, if you would kindly please press the button.